So I decided to do 2 videos today. I came over to West Springdale and I picked up Sadie. Sadie Mae's in the back. If you can see her, the back is still a little messy from puppy deliveries 2 days ago. We knew we had more puppy deliveries, so the floor is completely covered in blankets. When I picked Sadie up, she smells ripe and she, I think, is ready to breed. We've been pulling blood, but it was quite the feat to break loose, drive 45 minutes one way, pull blood, back home 45 minutes, then another 45 minutes to the vet's office, and then another 45 minutes home, trying to nurse puppies around the clock. It's like my vet this morning. I texted him and I said, well, Layla's close, but she's not in labor, and I kind of like for her to go into labor before we do the C-section, but I don't want to lose any puppies. And he said, well, we can do it early in the morning. And I said, that's fine. I said, how early? I said, I get up at 3 and feed puppies and usually go back to bed at 4. He goes, well, great, we could do it at 6 o'clock in the morning. I said, yeah, but what I didn't tell you is I work till midnight. So I work till midnight and get up at 3 and feed puppies. So just stay up all day, right? Anyway, I could have got a little more rest. Last night I went to bed at midnight and they got me up at 2. Got me some Thai tea. Yay! It's like energy, right? If you've never had Thai tea, can you see the orange color? This was a new place. This isn't quite as strong as I'm used to. I make my own. This isn't as good as my favorite restaurant out at OR Road. This is a little watered down. I like mine really strong. The girls, when I go to this restaurant, it's a little tiny, not really restaurant, but when I walk in, they start making my tea, and they like to get the at the bottom, you know, where all the tea leaves settle. That's what they get me, because they know that's what I want. I want that strong stuff. I do not drink coffee, but if I did, I would probably take it black. I just don't like coffee. I don't like the taste of it. So the reason that I decided to do another video was I picked up Sadie and I'm headed back home, and I wasn't 5 minutes from her house. I don't know why I was thinking it was Sunday. I do lose track of my days sometimes. I really thought it was Sunday. And I see this funeral home to my right, and we're in the South, Arkansas. We're in the South. I love to call it the sunny South. I live in the sunny South for a reason. Well, in Arkansas, when there's a funeral, you get a police escort. And so a police car with not sirens, but with his lights on, leads the hearse and everyone that wants to go to the cemetery. I live in the sunny South. We have a lot of property. We plant everybody in the ground. Not everybody, but most people are actually buried in the ground, okay? I'm sorry if that's not your culture, but that is our culture. We put you in a casket. Everybody walks by and looks at you and talks about how great you looked, which obviously couldn't be true, but we all look better with a little makeup on, so I suppose maybe we did look good, dead. You're not there anyway, right? So this is the way they do it. You get a police escort to the cemetery, from the funeral home to the cemetery. This is also an unwritten law. When the people are leaving, they all have their headlights on. So you're going to empty the entire parking lot, and everybody does their best to stay together, and they either have their flashers or their headlights on. Traffic stops. Traffic stops both ways, not just one way. If you are coming toward the funeral, you stop. Why, might you ask? Out of honor. That's why. And respect for the dead. You stop. You pull over and you stop. And you wait for these people that are grieving to pass. Well, I was coming toward the funeral home. The funeral home was on my right. I see the police with the the policeman with his lights on. I see the hearse, so I stopped. Now I'm driving on this is what I'm driving on. 2 lanes this way, middle lane, 2 lanes that way. So I stopped, even though I was kind of in the left-hand lane, and I let the policeman had already went out, and the hearse had already went out, and I didn't have to stop. I could have kept going. It's 2 lanes, right? But I stopped. And then a couple of cars on my right did not stop, but then the third car did stop. And we were there 5 minutes by the time everyone got out of the parking lot. Then there was a little tiny piece of road, and then they got out on this 4-lane, which it is 4 lanes, but it's got stop lights everywhere. It's not like we're supposed to be going 35, 40 miles an hour. So this was so interesting. I'm stopped, and I probably have 10 or 12 cars behind me, maybe more, and the lane to the right also. And this beat up hunk of junk, past its prime, minivan, passes me on my left in the passing, it's in the turn lane. It's not a passing lane, it's in the turn lane, right? Between 2 yellow lines. They pull over into the turn lane and they pass me because they're in such a hurry, No honor, no respect. Then, when they passed me, they had to get in front of me in the funeral procession. So here's all these people with their lights on or their flashers on in the funeral procession trying to make it to the cemetery all together so they can start there will be a ceremony there also. And it wasn't the only person that passed me on the left. It's not a passing zone, it's a turning zone. So they were at least 12 cars back. So I was just like, my mouth is open that people could be so disrespectful and have no regard for other people's feelings. Anyway, we are the sum total of the choices that we make. If that's the way you want to live your life, with no regard for anyone but yourself, and trust me, no one's going to have any regard for you either. Because whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. That's one more thing I was thinking of when I was quoting Jesus out of Matthew 12, when he said, he said, he's talking about, we'll give an account for every idle word we speak. Well, this was the end of that verse. The truth is, your angels write down every word you speak. And one day when we stand before God, we will give an account. We'll hear every word again, and we will give an account for every word we speak. Jesus said it. I believe it. It doesn't matter if I believe it or not. It's still true. So the end of that verse says, for by your words you will be justified, and by your words you'll be condemned. We are speaking spirits, and our words are powerful. And they affect not just you, not just your family, but they affect your community, your state, and your nation ultimately. So our words matter. What we say matters. It matters so much that every word is written down. So may our words be palatable if we have to eat them, right? It's a good word for the day. Just to live in that, wearing that mantle of humility, acknowledging the truth that life isn't all about us, that other people are important and valuable and deserve honor. And as we sow that, then that's what's going to come back to us, because that is a spiritual law. So that was my other thought for the day. And as I sat there, it cost me 5 minutes to sit there and let all those cars out. But we can always spend that time praying for those people that just lost someone. That may have been someone's mother or daughter or father or grandfather. I don't know who had passed away. I didn't know those people. I don't think I knew him. obviously with someone that was well loved. There's a lot of people there. So that was my thought for the day. Just living in that culture of honor and extending that value to other people, not just ourselves. I'm on my way home with Sadie. Sadie Mae, say hi. It's a mess back there. Yes, I see your tail wiggling. It's a mess back there.